So here I am. I wanted to take a break, look at what I've changed on the painting today, and perhaps share some thoughts on why we create art. I won't bother setting up any elaborate atmosphere. I couldn't care less about appearances. If you're interested, you can listen to why I'm painting this piece. Because after all, there has to be a reason. In fact, before you decide to pursue something or take any action, ask yourself one important question: why? You won't find a concrete answer to this question, but you might feel a vague desire. Listen to that feeling and try to give it some direction or meaning. Don't ever search for the meaning of life. It doesn't exist. The meaning of life and the quest to find it, these are human constructs. The meaning lies in what you do. If you've decided to paint, there's already meaning in that decision, to paint. Then comes the next question. What do I want to depict? What will the painting be about? And again, I turn to my own vague desires. What do I want to show? And then I remember I had a dog. I was 6 years old when we got her. And she grew into the biggest collie in town and was incredibly smart. 30 years after she passed, I remembered her and thought, that dog was smarter than many people around today, even some who speak from podiums. And I thought, why don't I paint her, the collie? So I started shaping her image. Then I remembered Gabriel Garcia Marquez's wonderful story, Eyes of a Blue Dog. It's not about a dog at all, but the title is beautiful. The story tells of a man and woman who meet in their dreams. And the phrase, eyes of a blue dog, becomes a key for them to find each other in reality. So, I decide to paint the dog blue, because there are enough dogs in typical colors in this world. Next, I consider where to place the dog and in what pose. Should she lie down, sleep, run, or wait? I want her to wait for me. When I open the door to my home, she'll be there in the hallway. Then I think about where in the world she'll be waiting for me. My dog will look towards the entrance to the Bay of Kotor in a town called Hercegnovi. I like this town, and I enjoyed a year and a half in Montenegro. I like the country and this place. So, I'll place the dog there. Since I studied art for 6 years, I understand composition well. I direct the lines and accentuate them toward this dog. People's eyes move left to right. So objects like this southern plant lead the gaze to the dog. There could be a suitcase here, but a watering can works better and leads the eye more effectively. Plus, you don't water plants with a suitcase. Then over there. A line stops the composition. It's loosely defined. In the far corner, there could be a moon, and I don't need to paint craters for it to look like a moon. Maybe there'll be another plant. Perhaps a cubist-style sunflower. I note beautiful spots that came about by accident, like the area between the dog's paws. Since the eye is a muscle, just as you train muscles in the gym, if you've dedicated your life to art, studied paintings in galleries, even if just reproductions, your eye trains itself, and you develop a sense of artistic taste. Originally, no one has an eye for art, but I was born and raised among paintings, so it's easier for me. I see what worked, what didn't, what needs adjustment. And I think about what's next for this painting. I'm creating this piece to give myself positive emotions, to have the dog waiting for me. That's the point of creating this painting. It's a kind of play. And when I put my thoughts and feelings into the painting, rest assured they'll be captured within the canvas. Moreover, with those emotions in the canvas, I can communicate with them. I can draw my own emotions back, reflect on them, refine them, and return them to the canvas. Make those emotions clearer, more refined, more accessible. When the viewer sees clearer emotions, they feel them more deeply. That's the essence of art. To pack the right, pure emotions into this tin can and arrange the composition well. It's all part of a single game. Composition, color theory, thoughtfulness. And if the combination works, this painting could become a masterpiece. If you just pour a bucket of paint on a canvas and smear it around with a spatula, no masterpiece will come of it. You can shout as much as you like that it's art, or rake a canvas like it's trendy to do now. Or print your body parts on it and spin tales about abstract painting and call it art. That's nonsense. Even a dog wouldn't think of that. So people who make such claims are only admitting their own foolishness by declaring it art. There's a good Eastern saying, the desire to appear smart often prevents one from being so. By the way, I started this painting in 2021. I'm in no rush. Today it's 2024, and I could keep working on it for another 10 years if I want. When I feel it. Maybe I'll finish it in 2 days, maybe 20 years. Or 150. These are my reflections. See you next time in more fascinating encounters.